Now to an interview you'll only see here on Eyewitness News, taking us inside a high-profile legal fight between the Trump administration and a triangle man. Hampton Dellinger protects whistleblowers in the federal government. He was fired last month by the Trump administration 1 year into a 5-year term. Over the weekend, a federal judge ruled his firing was illegal. Dellinger lives here in the Triangle and he commutes to Washington to work every week. He stopped by our Eyewitness News studio this afternoon to discuss his case and how he's working to help other federal workers fired by the Trump administration.
We work with whistleblowers in the federal government. So if they see wrongdoing in their agency, they can come to us and we're outside their agency and we can initiate an investigation. And then if they're retaliated against for blowing the whistle, we can make sure they're protected.
What are some examples of cases you've seen, whistleblowers coming forward who felt they had been retaliated against?
The number one agency, Steve, where we get cases from is the VA. So this is where there's treatment for veterans that's not being provided in the way that it should according to law.
Are there public safety matters that come to you as well?
Absolutely. We deal with the FAA, we deal with TSA, we deal with DHS, Customs and Border Patrol.
Let's talk about the judge's ruling over the weekend. Pretty significant, saying that your firing by the Trump administration was against the law.
And there's no question about that. The law says that if I'm on the job and doing the best I can, doing a good job, the president has to have a really good reason to fire the person in my position. And the president didn't give any reason at all, just wanted to put in his own person. And my job's been on the books for 50 years, almost a half a century, and it's always had these meaningful protections, that it's not about a president putting in whoever they want, because whistleblowers trust us to be independent and to be a safe place that they can come to.
After court rulings in his favor, Dellinger remains on the job in Washington, and now he's focused on helping probationary federal workers who have been fired by the Trump administration.
In the federal government, even if you're a new employee, a probationary employee, you have to be assessed based on your individual performance, okay? And that's just a rule, that's a law, that you don't have a lot of rights as a new employee, but you do have the right to be kept on the job or not based on how you do. And these firings had nothing to do with individual performance, they were across the board.
The Trump administration and its supporters think that there's value in cutting back some federal spending and saving taxpayer money. How does that priority gel with your office?
Well, I completely respect whatever decision Congress and the president come up with in terms of the budget, and I recognize that presidents can have the ability to reorganize the government in different ways. It just has to be done according to the law.
The Trump administration is now appealing the judge's ruling declaring its firing of Dellinger illegal. Dellinger expects it to end up very quickly at the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington.